Good morning, Pastor Brian here. Thank you for joining me today as we read a psalm a day. Today, Psalm 19. I'll be reading from the Common English Bible. Feel free to follow along with your own translation or just listen to the psalm. And as you do listen or read along, think about what kind of psalm you think it is. Psalm 19. Heaven is declaring God's glory. The sky is proclaiming his handiwork. One day gushes the news to the next, and one night informs another what needs to be known. Of course, there's no speech, no words, their voices can't be heard, but the sound extends throughout the world, their words reach the ends of the earth. God has made a tent in heaven for the sun. The sun is like a groom coming out of his honeymoon suite. Like a warrior, it thrills at running its course. It rises in one end of the sky. Its circuit is complete at the other. Nothing escapes its heat. The Lord's instruction is perfect, reviving one's very being. The Lord's laws are faithful, making naive people wise. The Lord's regulations are right, gladdening the heart. The Lord's commands are pure, giving light to the eyes. Honoring the Lord is correct, lasting forever. The Lord's judgments are true. All of these are righteous. They are more desirable than gold, than tons of pure gold. They are sweeter than honey, even dripping off the honeycomb. No doubt about it, your servant is enlightened by them. There is great reward in keeping them. But can anyone know what they've accidentally done wrong? Clear me of any unknown sin, and save your servant from the willful sins. Don't let them rule me. Then I'll be completely blameless. I'll be innocent of great wrongdoing. Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be pleasing to you, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. It's the end of chapter 19. So, just kind of some interesting things going on here. First, beautiful opening, and one that I believe is put to at least one, if not more, songs. The heavens are declaring God's glory. Just a beautiful way of talking about how creation, and that's what it continues to say, how creation just shares God's glory. And there's just been so many times when I've been talking with people, and creation is one of the number one ways they say that God is alive and God had to be the one who created all of this. You just look, and creation just speaks volumes of a creator. And that's exactly what our text says today. And then talking about delighting in God's instruction and preventing people from evil, asking them to God to forgive them of any unknown sins and to help them not to do any intentional sins, any willful sins. Again, which sounds like confession and forgiveness every single week for us. Saying, forgive us the things that I've done and the things that I've left undone, the things that I know that I did and the things that I didn't know that I did. And then finally, the very last verse 14, another beautiful phrase. Just an overall, the psalm is just full of amazing things. The final verse saying, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be pleasing to you, Lord, my rock and my redeemer." It is a common phrase for pastors to use at the beginning of a sermon to just kind of, put the focus on God and to help the pastor and the congregation just kind of know that these words have been carefully crafted, carefully thought out, but that they are God's word and that they have been inspired by God. We talk about the Bible being inspired by God. And so this is one way to help put the focus hopefully off the pastor and onto the words that are being spoken, and that they are God's word, not any person's word. So, again, an amazing, beautiful psalm, one that just makes you happy reading it, makes you joyful, and just has a lot of great little bits of insight into God, into creation, into us, and how we all work together. So what did you hear? What did you like? What maybe there was something you didn't like? Write it down. Share it with a friend. Share it with us. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And God bless.